Welcome, FNUSA57 here. Once again, I'm on my Xbox One, and today I will be bringing you a video that is a complete guide for the brand new limited time game mode Outbreak. This is for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and it is a new zombies mode. So we're going to be doing a private game here. First off, I will go through the class that I will be using in the game mode. This is arguably the absolute best class. I would recommend that you use Ring of Fire. You're going to want the Hauer 77, which is the first pump action shotgun that you unlock. If you want to use an optic or a stock, that's entirely up to you. I like to pop shot, so I take an optic. You'll want the Flash Cone muzzle brake for increased equipment drop rate. You'll want the Task Force barrel for the increased damage, even though it does decrease the effective range. You will want the Ember sighting point so that you have increased salvage drop rate and increased hip fire accuracy. And last but not least, you will want one of the extended magazine tubes. You can take the 6-round tube, but it really doesn't matter, and I prefer to have more ammo, so I take the 8-round tube. Appearance and everything like that is completely up to you. I do recommend that you have your perks upgraded if you are doing this for high rounds, but that's entirely up to you. The main goal of doing this is to get the refined and then flawless Ethereum crystals so that you can go ahead and upgrade your weapon tiers. The first 10 crystals that you get, or first 10 flawless crystals, I would recommend you spend to max your shotgun, and then the first perk that you should max is Juggernog. After that, it is entirely up to you. So I'm going to explain how we are going to get relatively high round counts. Now, I do recommend that you go into a private match. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up now. Select Outbreak, and it'll take a second to load. The reason why I recommend that you go into a private match while doing this is simply because you can actually pause the game. Now, this game mode is fairly buggy. They fixed most of the bugs, but not all of them. So I will do my best to help you guys avoid those bugs. I will explain what the objectives are, where the objectives are located, how to do the map, and relatively try to give you as effective a strategy as possible so that you can reach as high a round as possible. Currently, my highest round is round 34 with 2-player. So, like I was saying, you want to do this in a private match since you can pause the game. Make sure that you have a fresh connection to the server because this game mode does like to crash, unfortunately. I would also recommend that you bring a friend for this game mode. It's easiest to do solo. 2 players is like kind of the sweet spot. 2 to 3 players is the sweet spot for this game mode. 4 players, it gets a lot harder. The zombies have more health, more damage, and all that stuff. So basically, this isn't a super high rounds guide because I don't know what the world record round count without using glitches is. I think the record solo is somewhere between 22 and 28 currently, but since the game mode is being buggy and crashing people and you can't join a match in progress, even if you were in the match. So, yeah, it's a little messed up. But I am going to try to set you guys up with as much information in one video as possible. Unfortunately, there's no new achievements for this game, so yeah, it's just playing for the crystals or playing for the fun. First thing you want to do is open your map and look at what you have on the map. You're going to be looking for multiple symbols. Primarily on the map, you're looking for the Thunderbolt there in the bottom right-hand corner, the main marked objective, the dragon icon, or the skull icon. Alright, now, when it comes to the beginning first few rounds, you can go as many rounds as you would like, but it's not necessarily worth it. It all depends on what you're looking for. You have to do what you're comfortable with, but you want to make sure that you do the side objective first, and then you want to do, if there's a chest or a lockdown, you want to do one of those before you actually go and do the final main objective. Now, everything has an audio cue in this, so you can hear the chests. And it's very important that you turn up your game volume so that you can hear these chests and find them as easy as possible. Now, depending on the round count you're at, that's going to determine exactly what the chests drop. On low rounds, or low worlds, as this game puts it, the drop rate really isn't going to be that high for much of anything. So you should not focus so much on looting as much as looting and killing your way to the main target objective. If you get an additional gun from a box, you can take it if you want to. It really doesn't matter. But so you've seen how I looked at the map, and right now all we have is the Thunderbolt chest, and then we have the main objective. Unfortunately, we did not get the free perk objective, which is kind of disappointing. But the chest you'll be able to open, there's scrap, which you want to kind of look for, and just grab all the loot up to wherever the main objective is, or the side objective that you're going for. In the first few waves, you can split players up if you're playing with multiple players, but that's honestly up to you. So I'm just kind of running through. I prefer to take Semtex grenades whenever I can. There's usually a couple chests on the bridge. Most of the time, chests will spawn in the same areas. Obviously, in this game mode, to farm crystals, which is what I'm doing, you want to be as efficient as possible in transitioning the map. And that just means that you need to run from point A to point B. In the early worlds, you're not really going to find much, but your goal should be to have around 7,000 cash, or essence, and at least 500 of the green salvage by the time you are ready to leave the world. So conveniently, this time we have our main objective, which is a holdout. That's arguably one of the hardest ones to do, especially by yourself or with only a few players. And we have a Thunderbolt chest. So we're going to go for the Thunderbolt chest. Another tip, as long as you have the melee upgrade, you're going to want to try and melee most of the targets, if you can do so, on the early waves. The reason why you want to do that is because zombies do not award very many points. They only reward 25 points for a kill, 35 for a crit kill or melee kill, so just bear that in mind. Of course, you have to deal with those napalm zombies, which is kind of annoying. Now, these little lockdown golden chests, this is basically a survive. It's simply a time-based thing. So early on, you can do them by yourself. It doesn't really matter too much. It's going to spawn a bunch of random enemies, more enemies and harder enemies based upon how many players are in the game and what the world round count is. Try to eliminate the Tempests first, because the Tempests are some of the most annoying enemies. Also, I should mention that you will want to make sure that you have a fully charged set of controller batteries before starting this game mode, since this game mode does take a fair amount of time to complete.
Moaning shitbag KIA.
Obviously, you can then open the large chest, try to split the loot with your team depending on who's got what. You will find this cross swords power up, which is a max power. What that does is that gives you your ultimate ability back. I also recommend that you get one person carrying stun grenades, the other person carrying monkeys, and eventually you'll want one person to have a ray gun and one person to have a Ray K. Now, the neat thing about the holdout is once your team is ready to go, only one person needs to be here at the holdout to actually activate it. But I would recommend that you have full armor and full ammo before you activate that, because that is arguably one of the hardest main objectives. So we can just take a quick look at the map while I'm waiting and examine what we have on the map for icons. So the little like TV radio machine looking icon in the center of the map next to the box with a question mark, that is the challenge. So that's the station that you can go spend points and get a challenge. Obviously, the box with a question mark is the mystery box. The kind of shield icon with a question mark is the Wonder Fizz machine. The shield and gun icon moving north on the map is the Arsenal station. The little round icons with the up arrow are jump pads. And then, of course, the wrench and hammer is a crafting station. So that's what those icons look like. There's another icon that's a round circle with a dragon head in it. That's Dragon Command relic. And then there's another icon that looks like a bunch of skulls piled up together, and that is a skull challenge icon. Those are the main icons that you will see on the map. So always check your map. Just be careful that you're not in an area where zombies can get to you, because regular zombies will respawn over time. Special zombies will not respawn over time. So depending upon the objective that you get, it's always a good idea to clear out the area around the objective. So we don't really have anything here to worry about. I'm waiting on Chronic, which shout out to Chronic for actually helping me out with this video. But I'm just waiting on Chronic to get enough money. It's very important to take your time on the first couple waves, because everything is so easy to kill on the first couple waves that it's not really a big deal. So this is your time to loot and build up points. You can freely check the scoreboard and see how many points you have and your partner has, or the rest of your team for that matter. So Chronic has enough to pack a punch. I don't have enough to crap to crap out a pack a punch. Man, what was I thinking there? No, I don't have enough to pack a punch. I do have 850 salvage, so I have enough to upgrade my gun to green tier, which is what I'm looking for, and Chronic has enough to upgrade his gun to green tier. The only thing that I really need is the additional money, which if you wanted to look at the map, you could find the Pack-a-Punch machine located over there on the left-hand side of the map near where Chronic is, but to do the holdout, it's really not necessary, especially on 1, 2, or 3 player difficulty, for all players to have Pack-a-Punched weapons. So I'm just going to kill a couple more zombies here. I know you guys might want me to rush ahead, but it is very important to get a decent starting pool of supplies before you really go in for the very first time. People actually underestimate how important preparing on the first couple waves is. Now, the chances of you getting a wonder weapon on the first couple waves are super slim, but it could happen, which would just make you be set up even better. Another thing to keep in mind is going to be your perks, because you want to have perks in a specific order. The top 3 perks, in my opinion, that you should make sure you keep if you go down is Stamina Up, Juggernog, and Quick Revive. Those are arguably the most important perks. I'm going to go ahead and activate this holdout if you're ready there, Chronic. Alright. I almost have enough points to pack a punch, so I'll pack my gun when we're done, since it's not really necessary to have for this. I was hoping we get the chest with the free perk, though. But we didn't. Now, holdouts, like I said, they're one of the main objectives that you can get. You can get a assassinate, retrieve, escort, holdout, or defend. Those are the current main objectives that you can get. The defends are kind of like, they can be annoying. The escorts are pretty easy as long as you're halfway decent and set up. So basically for the holdout, you'll be teleported into one of these buildings depending on the map. They're all different ones. Some are easier than others, and what you want to do is you want to find a spot that you can hold up. So this is actually a pretty easy building because we have this entire hallway that we can just hold up. And the zombies are forced to come up this stairway. You can technically even just knife your way through these zombies. Also remember, you can mark with left on the D-pad. So if you're playing this in 2-player, make sure that one player watches that room and the other player watches these stairs. Obviously this is easier to do with quick revive and, you know, all your perks. You can also feel free to skip around in the video if you want to see different things. But basically, I'm just showing the different objectives, the map icons, and kind of just starting to show the setup that you guys are going to want to follow. On higher wave counts, there's going to be a plethora more zombies. If you want, check out my Nothing But Live Streams playlist. That's where you'll find the stream from a couple days ago where we actually did a Wave 34, almost Wave 35. It would have been a Wave 35 game. Unfortunately, we ran into the fatal glitch that can occur. It's not super common, but unfortunately it does happen a lot with the retrieve missions. So this doesn't matter how many zombies you kill. It's a good spot to go ahead and build up some points, build up some scrap and salvage. Maybe try to get, you know, a couple different lethals and tacticals, get some equipment. But pretty much you're just surviving. It's a time-based thing. You can also rebuild the barriers. Rebuilding a barrier gives you 10 points. There is a maximum number of points you can get per wave, so bear that in mind. Obviously, things like nukes and bonus points are super helpful because they just give you a whole bunch of points. They give you more points than the points that you would get for killing the zombies in the first place. You also get additional points for killing a zombie that has not entered the area yet. So if you kill the zombies when they are still outside the little purple barrier window, you'll get like an additional 10 points. As you can see, it does get a little bit harder as the timer progresses. Eventually, you'll start seeing some of the big enemies, the bosses, enemies, elite enemies, things like that. You can get all sorts of crazy enemies in here that you have to fight, and it can get pretty insane, which is why you want the ray gun and the ray K. But overall, as long as you coordinate with your teammates, because doing it solo is just kind of crazy since you can't carry a ray gun and a ray K at the same time. You also can't carry 2 ray guns or 2 ray Ks. But just coordinate on that and it's relatively easy to do, so nothing to really worry about. After that objective is completed, you'll go ahead and get your reward. So you have to do up to round 3. When you complete round 3, you'll start getting the refined crystals. And then I think it's like 4 or 5 you start getting flawless, and 7 you get double on the refined and double on the flawless. Once you've finished a main objective, if you haven't done the side objective, go ahead and do the side objective. But if you have done the side objective already, just make your way straight for the anomaly. The anomaly is going to be the Xville area, and there's usually only like 1 of 2 spots that the anomaly can spawn in. On this map, it's usually up here on the bridge. Activate the anomaly, which will give you all the stuff that you need. It'll spawn in a pack-a-punch machine, so I recommend on wave 1, get your gun to pack 1. Choose an ammo mod that you want. So as normal, I'm going to run the Deadwire mod. If you didn't get a free perk and you have enough for a perk, the first perk I would recommend that you buy is your Juggernog or Quick Revive. But obviously it can be difficult to get enough points, and there's no way to trade points. So I don't have enough points for a perk, so we can just go ahead and get out of here. I did a little less killing. I ran straight for the main objective because I'm not really looting that much. But we also only got that little chest. We didn't get Dragon Command. This game does take a really long time to load. So once the little yellow bar has gone away, and you see the numbers in the upper right hand corner, you can open the map and then you'll slowly see things load in on the map. So to the right of us when we spawn in is going to be Dragon Command. And I don't see anything else.
Field ops. Requiem Disruptor satellite ready for Apex target.
Team, get to the uplink
Yep,
station and bring the
that's fine.
dimensional disruptor online.
We like to split up our forces here. Running with your map open is something that you really shouldn't do, by the way. So I'm going to keep the video going until we get all the different main and side objectives just to show you. But I will edit in between to make life a little bit easier and make the video a little shorter. Now, like I said, feel free to go ahead and grab some extra points, grab some extra salvage. It will help you in the long run. You can also run with your map open, but that may cause you to die. So just, you know, be careful. Man, I got a lot of dogs there. So I'm going to go ahead and have my controller batteries die on me. 1 second. That is really the bad thing about controller batteries.
Are we paused for a reason?
I am glad that it pauses the game when your controller batteries die, but I kind of hate the fact that controller batteries die really without warning. Alright, are you ready, Chronic? Alright, unpausing now. That was almost really bad. So now we're gonna start to get mimics. As I was mentioning earlier, it's a good idea if you're playing with a team to split up who's running what. So you all should not be using the same ammo mod. You should have like at least one person running Brain Rot, one person running Deadwire, and if you have more players than that, it's up to you. So prioritize the Manglers and all of that fun stuff because they do a lot of damage, and if you don't have perks, they can be really annoying. Also remember that gunfire will attract any nearby zombies in the area. So I just got a blue tier pistol. I'll pick that up so I can run quicker. We'll grab that. You can do a little bit of looting if you want. Now, Dragon Command, that's what Chronic's doing over there. It's really simple. All it is kill zombies in a circle. The next Dragon Command that we get, I'll actually be over there and I'll participate in it so that you can see what it is. Because the only thing about Dragon Command, the size of the chest that you get is proportionate to the percentage of the zombie fuel tanks that you fill. So it's sort of like the whole kill zombies to fill up a specific thing for different Easter eggs that they've had in the different Call of Duty zombies over the years. But it's one of those things that is slightly different because the reward is proportionate to the amount that you get. As I mentioned earlier, nukes are awesome. They only wipe out zombies in close proximity, though. They do not actually wipe out zombies in the entire area, though. There's also these little crystals that you get, the little dark ether crystals, so shoot them or knife them. They can drop good stuff. They don't always do it, but I wanted to go ahead and get Jug since I have enough for it. I just heard a chest, but I can't find it. Alright, Wonder Fizz machine, where are you? You should be right around here. Remember, zombies can materialize out of thin air, so just keep that. Alright, so like I mentioned earlier, your first 3 perks are the most important. The ones that you really want to get are Jug, Quick Revive, and then Stamina Up. Those should be your first 3 perks. I just need a little bit more so I can get my stamina up and have my 3rd perk. But obviously that's all been looted, so... I have no idea how to get on that building unless we take a jump pad. I think this chest is above me.
Be ready, strike team. Requiem satellite will bring an Apex threat into our reality.
Now that exterminate, that... Ooh, a self-revive kit. That's nice. That exterminate is really easy because it's going to call in a high-value target. This is arguably the easiest one since it does not have a time limit. Just bear that in mind. And I should get enough to buy my 3rd perk after this. So the reason why you want Jug is because Jug gives you more health. It makes you tankier, which is awesome. The reason why you want Quick Revive is because it allows you to revive your teammates quickly. It also gives you the ability to regen your health quickly, which is awesome, again. And Stamina Up you want so that you can actually run at like a quick speed instead of the speed of a snail. Now there's going to be 3 teleports or 3 fights for this on the exterminate, so just bear that in mind. You shoot him, do a bunch of damage to him. Depending on which one it is, he'll either run away and then the 3rd time you'll kill him, or if it's the Megaton version, then he'll run away, you'll kill him, and he'll split, and you'll have to kill both of those forms. Oh, I can show you the other little device. So we have the Megaton. This is arguably the hardest one. You'll want to make sure that you just eliminate everything. There's a whole boatload of bad shit in that building. And then once this dude splits, you can toss a stun grenade if you feel the need to, drop your ring of fire, and just, you know, murder.
That'll send a message.
I'm going up for that little device. Don't shoot it until I get up there. If you don't mind, I want to show it off real quick. This is another little thing that is not marked on the main map. This is a little ethereal orb, and you get better rewards the higher round that you go, but you have to find it, and then you shoot it, and it'll run away. It drops a bunch of essence, which, by the way, is doubled during double points. Just keep that in mind. And then it's going to fly off. This is a limited time event or limited time like in-game thing. So just try to get to it quickly and kill it. And it's going to go to another location. When it gets to that location, go in there, murk it. It'll drop you some more goodness. Ooh, double points. And a stun grenade. Now, where did it go, though? Did you see the energy trail from that, Chronic? Rip. I wish that that thing would be marked on the map, because in the confusion, I did not see the energy trail from where it went. That is depressing. Well, we could have had a bunch of goodies from that, but it probably wouldn't have really been anything good on round 2. Oh well, feels bad. Anyways, if you do manage to make it there and kill the third form of that orb before it disappears, it drops a whole bunch of shit for you. The problem is the fact that it times out. So, if you don't kill it fast enough, then it's just poof, gone, and a waste of you running around. Which, like I said, it's a relatively low wave count. I mean, we're only on wave 2, so it's really not gonna drop that much. The best thing would probably be like the salvage, which I'm just gonna murder my way to the anomaly so that we can get out of this area and move on. The audio cues can be a bit tricky. There's one other thing that I need to show off if I can find it. There's floating jars of zombie essence. And those big floating jars give you like 500 points. So the end goal that you should have by the end of round 2 is to be able to move your gun to blue tier. If you have enough to pack a punch, great. If not, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you have enough to get your third perk. Once you have your starting 3 perks, you are good to go. Activate the beacon, and then you can warp to the next zone, or you can call for exfil. Unless you're doing a random challenge that makes it so that you have to exfil a certain number of times, I would simply recommend warping to a new zone because you don't get the good crystals until a little ways into doing all of these zones, like 4 and 7. Alright, so we got Dragon Command, and we got the Skull Chest. So Dragon Command's in the top middle of the map, and the bottom left is that Skull Chest icon.
One of our data station research units.
Strike team.
I guess I'll go for the Skull Chest. It'll take me a minute to get there, though, because, you know, it would be all the way on the opposite side of the map. I really wish I could set waypoints. Since this map is just so freaking huge, it would be extremely helpful if you could set waypoints. But you can't. And we need to go to, like, the very edge of the map. Do not run over special zombies. Running over special zombies is, like, absolutely awful. So we're pretty much just going to follow this road. I told you I would show you what every side objective and main objective actually looked like. That's the purpose of today's video, to provide as much detailed information as possible so you guys can get to a high wave. Of course, even with that information, it is possible you may fail. This game is very unforgiving. And you'll actually notice that somehow I managed to tear past that without actually noticing the skull. Somehow. I don't know exactly how I did that, but I did. So you'll notice a bunch of dead bodies on the ground, like really charred bodies, with a radio. Interact with the radio, and then just kind of wait. You'll see beams of light that come down from the sky somewhere, and it's going to spawn a bunch of zombies, which you can then proceed to go and murder. Remember, if you are on a vehicle, when it explodes, you will lose all of your armor and probably kill yourself. I've got a combat bow here, so... honestly, never used a combat bow against those guys. And it does not do very good. Okay, yeah. I just had that for shits and giggles. But don't use a combat bow against these special zombies. These special zombies are a little bit harder to kill than the regular special zombies, so just kind of bear that in mind. Of course, a good old stun grenade Semtex combo works well. Don't forget you've got your ring of fire that you can use. You really need to prioritize taking out the Tempest, because the Tempest will stun you and just be very annoying. The Manglers, they're not too bad. If you shoot their gun off, regardless of the wave count that you're on, they die in about 2 hits. Whereas if you're just going for body slash headshots, they take obviously like a lot more damage. I don't have my Deadshot Daiquiri yet. It also doesn't hurt for you to buy a trial here or there.
Threat eliminated.
I got a sentry gun. That's not too bad. Alright, picking up the random perk. And I got Tombstone. Unfortunate. Not the perk I was looking for. Alright, now continue following these steps and go ahead and proceed towards the main objective. If you happen to see some loot, feel free to grab said loot, but I would not recommend wasting too much time. Kill zombies with a vehicle. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Vehicles take a shitload of damage. As you can see, that Mangler died super easy when he was a regular Mangler, but the ones for that challenge I did earlier, whew, they did not die so quick. Remember, you can use your parachute. Now I will be showing you a defend challenge. Defend challenges can be marginally frustrating, but they're usually not too terribly bad. The difference with a defend challenge as opposed to like the holdout and the kill challenge, especially on higher waves or higher worlds, you're really gonna want to clear out everything. So just make sure that you kill everything in the like immediate vicinity. This one's usually inside this building over here. There's another one of these devices, so since Chronic isn't over here yet, I'm gonna work on clearing out this area, because this is where we're gonna have to defend at.
Roger that, Weaver. Strike team, grab the specimen and place it in the...
And the regular zombies, I mean, they're gonna respawn, plus of course new ones spawn, but this mission or this objective is going to call in all sorts of other zombies, plus the zombies in the immediate area. So you might as well just kill the stuff in the immediate area and then not have to deal with it. Again, make sure that you have armor, grab your scrap. I'm shooting this little flying purple ball. Hopefully I see where it goes. really, I want to see if I can get a ray gun, ray K, or death machine, because that would be like the absolute ideal thing to get. Make sure you kill the Tempests, because Tempests are god-awfully annoying.
One less zombie. You're welcome.
And it's very easy to lose track of these little purple ball things. But if you can track them down to all 3 objectives, then kill them, oh, they give you good stuff. Don't let it disappear, though. That's the big thing. Do not let it get away. They usually give you a decent amount of stuff, but the higher the world tier, the more you'll get. You also, a lot of times, get a free perk. So, like, I just got Deadshot Daiquiri. So make sure we go back to clearing out the area now that that's dead. I love Deadshot Daiquiri. It's awesome. If you want, you can go ahead and pack your gun. At this point, you should have enough to pack your gun for the second time. I'm hitting the boxes, I'm doing the challenges and stuff like that, mainly just for the hopes of getting the wonder weapons. The wonder weapons are what we need at the end of the day for high waves. We don't need them in the, like, early rounds, but later on you'll definitely need them. I think we should probably activate this challenge while we have an insta-kill. Alright, I got the head. And I'm gonna go up to my little spot to camp at.
Oh dear. The specimen's retained vocalization.
Break that window.
It's sending out some kind of signal.
It's ringing the damn dinner bell.
And there we go.
Hostiles moving in. Protect the station until data upload.
One person should kind of be up here. The other person should rotate inside. Not too many zombies come up here. You'll need the ray gun and ray K to make it easier on the higher waves. But for the lower waves, simply using your shotgun is fine.
Undead asshole neutralized.
Strike team, more heavy.
Also, it does not matter on the objective's health, whether it has like 1 hit away from dying or is completely untouched. You get the same reward, which I thought was kind of dumb because there really should be some sort of bonus reward for reaching like the end of the objective and having the objective flawlessly defended, but there isn't. So again, this is a timed objective.
Upload nearly done.
It's a fairly simple defense sequence.
Bad guys headed your
You
way.
also have to stay alive, of course, and you have to protect it. So it's a little more complicated than the holdout, but you have more room to move. You have more score streaks that you can use. So it's also a little easier than the holdout at the same time.
Right on the fucking.
And it takes a lot. Even on, like, wave 30, it takes quite a bit to destroy that thing. Nukes, of course, are helpful because they'll kill anything in the vicinity, except for big special zombies, boss zombies, which if you have any of those, they usually take them down to about half health. It's a good idea to bring them as close to the nuke as possible so that they get hit by it. Deadshot Daiquiri is also really good for building up points because it gives you that guaranteed headshot. You can kind of start and move away from the objective once there's only about 10 seconds left because it's not going to die in 10 seconds.
My lab will begin analysis
So here on 3, we got a flawless. That's the first time I've actually received a flawless crystal on round 3. Normally it's 4, so I don't think it's guaranteed on 3, but let me know if you guys receive them on 3 consistently as well. I've only done about 10 games of Breakout so far. Out of those 10 games, at one point or another in the game, at least 5 of them have crashed on me. Or one of my teammates has crashed. So this game is super freaking buggy. Another reason why you want to get through it as fast as possible. So once you're here, you should have now, by round 3, enough of the regular salvage to go ahead and upgrade your armor to level 2. And then it's personal preference whether you want to go for armor 3 or go for a purple gun. I recommend taking your shotgun to purple. And then go ahead and do level 2 Pack-a-Punch. And GTFO again. The only thing that you may or may not have at this point is monkeys. You might have to buy monkeys, but you really shouldn't need them until, like, maybe World Tier 7 or 8. Dragon Command in the
Recon rover
chest.
is ready to begin dimensional research transfer.
I'd like to do a Dragon Command. Change it up. Since I did say I would show what Dragon Command was. Feel free to pick up a few kills along the way. It honestly doesn't matter. Oh, there's the zombie points I was looking for. Here's one of those flying zombie-escent things that you can collect. Get some sexy points. Not that the points really matter too much. I have half of the Third Reich behind me at the moment, but I just don't care. If you come across Tempests, take the time to kill Tempests. Tempests are like, oh god, Tempests are awful. So this is Dragon Command, and you activate it. It puts down a purple circle that's a little bit lighter in color than the purple circle from Ring of Fire. You do not get points for zombies killed within the circle, but the zombie dog sucks it up, and you'll notice the level of the fuel tanks. Those fuel tank, rocket booster, gauge, whatever the heck you want to call it thing, that is what you need to pay attention to. Very important. You want to fill those boosters up as much as possible. Of course, zombies killed inside the ring are the only things that actually count. Remember, you can exit the ring and go back into the ring, so make sure that you don't die. It is entirely possible to die while doing this. This is not a timed event in the sense of, like, just survive for X amount of time, but it is timed because eventually the rocket will fly away on you. Now, if the fuel tanks are full, you will get this nice, sexy, shiny, golden loot chest. This is the highest tier loot chest, as far as I know, that you can get. If the fuel tanks are like 75% full, you'll get a large chest. 50% full, you'll get a medium chest. Anything less than 50%, you'll get a small chest. I'm not sure if it's actually possible to fail that, considering I have never actually failed it. At which point, we will go to our escort mission. So this is one that I have not showed you yet. There's usually a chest in this bridge, too. So just, doesn't hurt to take a look when you pass by. It's normally just a little small chest that's right there. If there are any zombies in the immediate area around the main objective, especially big zombies, go ahead and murder their faces.
These recon rovers are critical to our research.
Now, this is the easiest objective that you can get. It does change a little bit on higher round, so I'll explain it. I might not get to show you. You can see we got a little monkey there. So what you have to do is you have to stay near the rover. Alright. And by staying near the rover, you push the rover forward. It's a fairly liberal distance, so you don't have to worry too much about it. On higher waves, what you'll want to do is push forward when you see the zombies spawn, moving away from the rover to engage heavy zombies like megatons, panzers, and things of that nature that might be able to one-shot said rover. It's going to continue to spawn a bunch of shit in that wants to destroy it and make your life more difficult. Continue the process of murdering it, or I don't know what you call killing something that's already dead, but I'll leave that philosophical thing up to you guys. You can tell me if you figure out an answer to it. I'm simply here to provide information. Eventually you'll get to an anomaly, and the rover will scan the anomaly. And you'll get one of two results. So you do sort of need to protect it. But either what's going to happen is it'll say that the rift was inadequate, and it'll just be on the ground, and then you'll have to follow the rover to another spot. Or it's going to get rejected and go flying through the air to somewhere else on the map.
Specimen transformation has already begun.
Which now the monkey has become a lantern, because, you know, that's how the ether works, apparently.
Anomaly located. Adjusting vector to match breach.
Again, like I said, this is really easy. This is the easiest one that you can get because it's not timed. You can move away from the rover to fight large hordes of zombies, or to fight, you know, super megatons, whatever the case might be. So this is just ridiculously easy. It's a joke how easy escort is. Plus, sometimes the monkey in the back of the escort will turn into something like a double points, insta-kill, max ammo, something of that nature, and you can actually pick it up and use it, which is really cool. That means our next one should probably be a retrieve. Get out of my face there, doggy. The one that I got here is going to be the one where the rover goes flying. You'll have to deal with 3 breaches, normally. I did have one that I had to deal with 4 breaches, but that only happened one time.
Stay on it, team. We need a viable breach point.
It's also possible, especially on low difficulty, to just, you know, escort the rover with a vehicle, if you wanted to. Which, right now, because I'm just, you know, messing around, I actually want to escort the rover with a vehicle. as long as you don't mind your vehicle kind of like glitching out and getting destroyed, it's not a half bad tactic to use a vehicle to just murder. Get a good old Sunday driver medal going on here.
Detecting massive dark ether energy presence. Updating route.
This obviously does not work out as well on higher world counts, by the way. So expect your vehicle to just disintegrate instantly.
That particular anomaly should safely deliver our rover to the dark ether.
Scan shows a surge of hostiles emerging from breach.
Murder everything. Try not to lose your armor. It is suboptimal if you lose your armor, but, you know. I just felt like running everything over there,
Rover has crossed the
in case you were wondering.
Great, do you have a signal?
It was surprisingly effective, though.
Successful data link established. We're receiving now. Appreciate the help.
Alright, and now we need to leave this area. So I just have one more main objective that I need to show you. I've showed you all of the side objectives already. The only other thing that I would like to share with you guys is the Ray K and Ray Gun. But getting Ray Ks and Ray Guns are... it's just really luck of the draw. Hopefully you get one early. Most of the times you're not. But you might get lucky and get one early. It's random. As for a secondary weapon, I do recommend that you grab something that you can run quick with, like a pistol or SMG. If you have enough money, go ahead and pack your shotgun to level 3. If you have enough, take your armor to level 3, unless you want to save all of your scrap up to get a legendary tier on your shotgun. That's up to you. I go for survivability first, just due to the fact that, well, I mean, a triple packed purple tier shotgun, especially with Deadshot Daiquiri and pop shotting, it does a ridiculous amount of damage.
Strauss to Viva. I'm having difficulty establishing comms with...
Alright, I'm gonna go for the chest.
Your area.
Do we get a retrieve?
Copy that.
Yes, we
Strike
did.
team
Perfect.
inbound to
Now
the
I
last
will,
known location.
after we do that main objective, I will have shown how to do all of the main objectives. I think we got a Panzer. Alright, so this guy is really annoying. This is the Panzer jerk. His weak point is actually after you destroy that, like, cockpit thing, you can shoot him in the head, or when his chest is open. But if you get a death machine, the death machine does a ridiculous amount of damage to him. I have a DIE shockwave here on the ground if you want it. Yep, that's a whole big bag of not taking that. I mean, the DIE weapon isn't bad. Like, it does do a good amount of damage, but...
Picking up enemy contacts near you. Hunt them down.
They really need to bring Mule Kick back. I mean, the shotgun is like a ridiculous weapon. I love the shotgun, don't get me wrong. But it's nice to have some extra options at your disposal.
Deadbeat down.
I do wish Deadshot Daiquiri would work a little more consistently on special zombies, where the special zombies' weak point is not their head, like the Tempest, where you need to shoot them in the chest, or, you know, the Panzers, Manglers, you know, all that fun stuff, but you can still do a lot of chip damage, so it's not exactly that big of a deal. The higher the world count you get to, the more frequently you'll get things like free perks or legendary tier stuff. If you don't have Deadshot Daiquiri, there's a can here, but I doubt you'll make it all the way across the map in time to pick it up.
Good kill. Damn. Looks like we're too late. Strike team. Finish.
Alright, time for the retrieve mission.
I only hope your team proves less.
So, the retrieve mission is arguably the most annoying other than, like, the defend mission. And the reason behind that is mostly because it's frustrating on higher worlds, plus it can glitch out. So, the glitch, there's not much you can do about it. If it happens, the game is just, well, there's no fix for it. It's completely broken, and your run is just over. With that being said, though, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and get up there, and you want to clear out everything before you start this. Really wish I could destroy fences. Dude, the shotgun is just like so awesome. Kill zombies that are unaware to any player's presence. Yeah, that's another terrible challenge. Unless you have like a sniper rifle. So clear out everything, grab some points if you need to grab the points. If not, doesn't really matter. I picked up a challenge just to see if I could get any progress on it. Unfortunately, I cannot because, you know, yeah. It's a crappy one. And that's a perk of Juggernog. Man, I'm pulling all sorts of perks today, just not the ones that I need. So, what you need to do is clear out the Arsenal Station. On this map, the Arsenal Station is really in very close, extremely close proximity to where the retrieve mission is. A little bit of prep work goes a long way for this mission. Kill everything around the main area. I'm just clearing out a last couple things that are lurking here. I just heard a Mangler that needs to die. Alright, other than that, we should basically be good. So, this is the glitchy one. You cannot go down while trying to load the Ethereum canister.
Try to move with some vigor, strike team.
Now, the best way to do this is to split up.
The moment it is removed.
The best way to do this is to have one person stay up here by the rocket and kill everything that spawns, and have the other person run to get the canisters. Yeah, I'll switch to B once you've got that canister in. So whoever's staying up here by the rocket, just murder everything. Unfortunately, to avoid this glitch that locks it and prevents you from being able to actually put the canister in even when you have the canister, you need to make sure you do one canister at a time, and you need to make sure that you do not go down while you are putting the canister in the rocket. It is extremely important. I cannot stress that enough. Coordinate with your team so that you can keep everything dead. If you're playing with 4 players, you'll probably need to split your team into 2 players at the rocket, 2 players at the canister. only a few small things, taking care of the Mimic. Gotta get rid of that Megaton real quick. I'm gonna transition now that I have full armor. I'll run down and get A. It's a little sketchy doing this solo, so if you're not comfortable doing it solo, you should make sure that you go ahead and split your team in two and have a person come with you. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that like spawns right around where the canister's at, so just keep that in mind.
Purge the harvester to release the canister.
Then you're going to purge the harvester, which will release the canister. It's going to start spawning in shit.
Aetherium's trout. Moving to the rocket.
I already have Tombstone. Now, when you're carrying this canister, it has its own force pull LB, RB ultimate. Do not, I repeat, do not use it. That's another thing that can cause it to glitch. You cannot sprint. You cannot jump. You can mantle if you're next to something that you would normally be able to mantle, and you do walk faster if you're walking backwards. So just keep that in mind. This objective is also timed too. Now, if you run out of time, you do still have a chance to complete this. Alright, I'm coming up. Getting ready to load the canister. Loading the canister now.
That's it.
And we are done.
Control, proceed with...
Also, stay away from the rocket, because when the rocket launches, the shockwave can actually kill you.
3, 2, 1. Satellite confirms the rocket is en route to delivery site.
And within a couple seconds, we'll get our reward.
I can hardly wait for its...
Bam, done. Yeah, I've got all of my perks maxed, so it's nice having all the perks maxed again. I just gotta save up enough rare salvage to upgrade my gun to legendary. Alright, at this point I'm going to kind of start doing a little bit more hyper editing. So I'm only going to show like getting the ray gun, getting the ray K, and then maybe a higher wave thing, because I've already showed you how to do every single side objective, every single main objective, and given you the strategy that you need to have in order to make it to high rounds. Otherwise, it's just gonna do the exact same thing. Alright, so there we go. We got our first nice, really helpful ray gun. It'll be insanely helpful once they fix the whole splash damage reduces your armor to 0 thing. We also got our first monkey.
You cannot stop us.
Alright, now I'm not going to continue to super high rounds, only due to the fact that I just don't have the hard drive space for the recording. So I'll try to show you the Ray-K.
Welcome back.
But the only real reason why you want the Ray-K is for the slow effect. Once you're set up and you have your perks, you have about 100,000 essence, and you have a ray gun and Ray-K, then what you can do is you can stop looting the additional boxes, you can stop doing the extra side challenges, you can stop doing the trials, all of that stuff. If you want, of course. If you wish to still continue to do them, then, well, you can do it, but you don't have to.
Deadbeat. Who's next?
An important thing to remember is to repair your armor. Check and see if you can upgrade your gun to legendary. You should be able to upgrade your gun to legendary fairly soon. If you want, like, the only perk that I'm really missing is Speed Cola, so I have the money and I'm just gonna buy Speed Cola at that point. But you could wait to get a free perk. Either way works. And then using this strategy, once you have the ray gun and the Ray-K, pack-a-punch those weapons the 3 times. So first pack-a-punch is 5,000, second's 15,000, and the third is 30,000. You cannot put an ammo mod on either of those guns. But once you have all of that done, then you can simply start going straight for the main objective. Go to the main objective, follow the tips that I gave you for the main objective, you'll be fine, and you can just keep going. Bam, 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 bam. The only thing that, like, the only other tip I can offer is one of the best support items that you can get is the death machine. So roughly around this point, you'll probably be at like round 7 or 8. If you haven't got a death machine, probably make one. And if you don't have a self-revive kit, probably make one as well. Now, the thing about the death machine that makes it so damn good, the reason why it's just awesome, is due to the fact that it is a weapon, a support that gets its ammunition back, at least currently. Every world you go to, you'll get a full death machine. So if you had 1 bullet left in your death machine and you go to a new world, you'll then have 400 rounds left in your death machine. Just something to keep in mind. Obviously, it's to each his own. I am prioritizing these Tempests, because Tempests are just super annoying. These zombies move a lot faster than, like, regular zombies. So I'll just show you guys a little bit more of what we're doing. Pretty much the only difference is zombies will take more damage, there will be more zombies, and there will be more of the really large, big boss zombies, elite zombies, whatever you want to call them. There will be more of them. And you'll have to coordinate with your team about when to use your Ring of Fire and all that fun stuff. Other than that, just follow the same tips. You'll be fine. You'll be getting just a plethora of upgrade crystals, upgrade your perks. Like I said, if you want, check out the high round gameplay from the stream the other day. But once we do this last eliminate, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Because as you've seen from Wave 1 to Wave 7, not a whole heck of a lot has changed. It still feels really easy because of the weapons that we're using and because of the upgrade order that we're following. Keep your eyes out for the audio, well, keep your ears out for the audio cue for chests. Keep your eyes out for the little golden light that comes up from the chest. This way you can find those chests, collect all the goodies that they have. Remember, it is a good idea to kill the elite zombies if the elite zombies are close to you, simply due to the fact that they have a chance to drop one of the wonder weapons. They also usually drop ammo and armor, so this way you don't have to buy it. The only thing I haven't really been able to show, unless we happen to get really lucky here, is I haven't been able to show what the Reike looks like, which is kind of unfortunate. But it is what it is. RNG sometimes is not on your side, and I don't have the hard drive space to record like a 5-hour game. Plus, I really don't want to post a 5-hour video.
Once activated, the disruptor finds Apex targets with high Aetherium concentrations and extracts them from the dark ether.
Connection established. Systems nominal. Locking target. Initiating firing sequence.
You are authorized to terminate the HVT, Strike Team. Containment 1 is dead, not alive.
Stun. 2. 1. Apex HVT has been acquired.
Strike Team, bury the son of a bitch.
Looks like it's not alone.
One less zombie. You're welcome. Anyone use body armor?
It's running. Track it down.
I also wanted to show you the double crystals that you get.
Target reacquired. West of your position.
That's the main reason why I wanted to get to Wave 7. Plus, it's super easy to get to Wave 7. Like, you can probably consistently do this solo if you really wanted to.
Do not let it escape. Finish it off.
The only other tip I could really give you is if you're comfortable with doing it, go into your settings and turn on auto sprint. This way, the moment you start moving, you start sprinting. That'll make it a little bit faster for maneuvering around the map. I mean, I don't play with auto sprint on, but I know Chronic does play with auto sprint on, and he loves it. Also, coordinate who picks up the ammo so that all players on your team have ammo. So there you go. Now you're seeing 2 of the flawless Aetherium crystals, and I do believe you get 2, if not 3, of the refined crystals. I don't get the regular crystals or refined crystals anymore due to the fact that I've already farmed enough of them to upgrade everything for the maximum amount. If you want, you can hit the extract or exfil button on the anomaly on that beacon. But all you have to do is run over to the exfil. It's ridiculously easy to do. However, you only get an extra crystal, so it's not really worth it for just 1 extra crystal. If you don't have your ray gun or ray K, or if you're still missing a wonder weapon at this point, it doesn't hurt to wander around and take out a few extra elites. I wouldn't waste too much time or too much of your armor going around and just taking out everything on the map, because that's really not necessary. but bringing down a few extra elites hopefully will get you a wonder weapon. Doesn't work all the time, because the lower the world count, the lower the chance of actually obtaining one of the wonder weapons. But like this base area, it's really close to the anomaly, so I'll just go ahead and kill the elite enemies that are in here, and then I'll accept it, because there's nothing that I need to do other than taking my shotgun to legendary, which I probably should have run over there and upgraded my shotgun to legendary, but it's not really necessary to do that. So, I hope this video has helped. I would love it if they added achievements to this game mode. Unfortunately, they have not, nor, as far as I know, do they have any plan of actually adding achievements. So that is really, really sad, but it is the way that it is. If you do have any questions for me, feel free to ask. I will do my best to help you guys out with information in-game. Otherwise, do me the huge favor, smash that like button, because that greatly helps out with the searchability of videos here on YouTube. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, thy legion, stay frosty.